Hello everyone, and welcome back to another cooking vlog. My name's Vinny, and this is my channel, Vinny Vlogs. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, in this vlog we're going to make for you guys Supo Siusiu Povi, or oxtail soup. It's an easy, simple dish, let me put it that way. The easy, simple dish which takes a lot of time to cook, but it's worth it in the end. So if you're not a fan of, say, oxtail or any fatty cuts of meat, then I recommend you use brisket or leaner cuts of meat in this soup. The only difference with this one is that I use a different type of spice in it. Welcome again to those who are new, and shout out to all our families who are obeying the rules of the government and staying home. It's a good time for you guys to actually spend time with your families. Take care of yourselves, make sure you wash your hands all the time, and be clean, be safe, and make sure to be kind to everyone that you meet when you go out shopping. Yeah, but yeah, hope you guys enjoy this vlog, and we'll see you soon. Bye. For your Supo Siusiu Povi, or your oxtail soup. So you just need a pack of oxtail. So I've got 2 packs. There's about 4 or 5 oxtails in each of them. $10 each. Good value though. You need 1 to 2 tablespoons of soya sauce, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. You also need about 6 potatoes. So remember, we're making a soup, not a stew. So we're trying to, make the actual broth more flavoursome, okay? You also need 1 pack of spinach. So this is the $2 pack from Aldi, so I'm not too sure how much they are in the other parts of the world, but this is definitely good value as well. You need 2 tomatoes, and you also need 2 onions, 2 tablespoons of plain flour. If you come closer, you also need this spice. That's a mixed spice. It's just to flavour the soup, and it really comes out strong in the end. So you'll know what I'm talking about once you make this. So you need 1 tablespoon of mixed spice and 1 tablespoon of salt. And all in all, that's all you need. And then you want to cook it all in the pot. So let's begin. So just use scissors just to cut around the edge. So first we're going to grab the meat. And first and foremost, my advice is whenever you go to the shops and get meat like this, even though it's packed, you still need to wash your meat, because you don't know who's been handling it before it reached the pack. So I'm going to wash this thoroughly, okay? Just 1 moment. Wash that. Alright. So what it is, you're grabbing the bigger sized parts like this. These are fine, so these are okay, they can go straight into the bowl, which is okay because they're pretty much bite-sized. So you're aiming for just bite-sized pieces, and that way the whole family can have a fair share of the meat instead of just one person. Cut off, oh there we go. There we go. So this part of the cow is very fatty. Very tender, because they use their tail a lot to, I don't know, swat flies and whatnot. But that's why there's a lot of meat and fat, and some of our people love it. So here's the meat. We're gonna boil it. Alternatively, if you are not comfortable with using oxtail, you can easily use gravy casserole beef, which is still a bit chewier, a bit more harder than normal steaks out there, but they're a lot cheaper. So you can use that too, because what we're going to do, we're going to boil it for about 2.5 hours, and that way it becomes nice and soft and tender. Okay, so now we're going to put it in our pot. I already got some part pieces in there. I'll put it in our pot, ready to boil. Okay, make sure when you fill it up, you fill it up about 2 centimeters above the actual meat, and that way it covers all of it. And then I'm gonna let that boil on medium to high heat for about 2.5 hours. Okay, I'm gonna allow that meat to just boil and cook through. Okay, so now we're here at the stove, so we're just gonna turn that on medium heat, medium to high heat. And then we're gonna put some salt on there, just to flavor the meat while it's boiling. This is key. So when you're boiling this, you don't put the lid on like that and then without any air. So when you're boiling this, the key is you just leave it ajar or open. That way the air can come through, but you just have to keep an eye on it because you don't want it to boil over in the process, okay? So let that boil for about 2 to 2.5 hours. And then in the meantime, like I said, we're gonna go prepare our veggies to add into the dish towards the end, okay? So what you wanna do with your potatoes, you just wanna peel them. And I've already pre-cut some, but you just wanna peel them. And then when you're cutting them, you make sure that you cut them in chunk-sized pieces. So that's the smallest you could go, because any smaller, they'll end up dissolving in the soup. And that will add some volume to your soup. It's pretty much the same as, like, you know, boil up, but again it comes down to the flavors, the spices that you use. So that's all the potatoes that you need, really. Okay, so with the tomatoes, again you're just cutting them in chunk-sized pieces, because what they're going to do is obviously they'll start to soften and end up being a part of the broth. Okay, so you don't want to worry too much about the size of them. So I normally just put them in chunk-sized pieces, because they'll end up becoming so soft that they'll become part of the flavor of the soup. And so that's the size you want, okay, with the tomatoes. Okay, now with the onion, what you do is just cut them in slices, okay? So they'll become like a stringy type texture, but again it will add volume to your soup. Just be careful when you're using a knife. Obviously a lot of accidents happen when we're in the kitchen. Okay. After the 2 hours is up, we're going to put these in and allow that to cook for about 20 minutes along with the garlic, and then we're going to, in the last 10 minutes, we're going to add in these for the 2.5 hours. Okay guys, so this is what the beef should look like. If you give a look and see, it's starting to cook through, and this is like an hour and a half later. So that's the sort of color, or that's the sort of texture you want your beef to look like, nice and soft. And what I've done is I've actually, you'll notice that the water tends to evaporate over a period of time. So you just add boiled kettled water just to top up your soup. And also for those people that are health conscious, you just kind of look here. What I've done is I've just drained out a lot of the oil extract from the beef stock. So if you look here, what I'm doing is just grabbing a ladle and sort of scooping up the oil that floats up top. And that way it's not really ruining the rest of your soup. Some people actually love having it in there, so, but I'm one to take it out because it's, you know, a bit too unhealthy for me. So now we're like an hour and a half into the cooking process. We're going to now add our potatoes. Just add your potatoes in there. Careful, it's hot. Also add in your onions, like so. Also want to add in your 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Okay, it's up to you whether you can chop up garlic, but I'd rather this is easier. Add in that way. I'll grab our wooden spoon and then just mix that through. So allow that to boil. When it comes to boil, I'll then show you the next step. Okay guys, so we're about 20 minutes into boiling these potatoes and onions and garlic. So you can see they're starting to dissolve in the soup, which is great. And if you see that you're running out of water, just simply add more boiling water again to the pot. Alright, I'll bring up those flavors again, and now what you're wanting to do is just to add in your salt and your mixed spice while it's boiling. Just give that a stir with your wooden spoon. And this will add a sweetness, so the mixed spice sort of brings a sweetness to the soup as well. While you're doing that, I'm going to grab our flour and just add it to a jug of cold water, or a cup of cold water, sorry, a cup of cold water. So I'm going to add that there, and this will act as a thickener. Until most of the flour dissolves. And what you're going to do is just to add in your 1 to 2 tablespoons of soya sauce to this. So for this soup, I'll just use 1 and a bit. Okay. And again, it's for flavour and colour. I'm going to pour that into the soup like that. I'm going to add more boiling water and allow that to boil probably for another 10 to 20 minutes, so then the meat can absorb all those spices, or the mixed spice as well as the soy sauce. Also the thickener, so the flour thickener just gives it, it's not too watery, but you want to make sure that there's enough water in there obviously to make it into a soup. And lastly we're going to add our tomatoes. Be careful when you add them in. And also your packet of spinach. And like I said, these are water-based vegetables, so they'll easily be cooked. So these will be cooked in within 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. You just allow that to boil through for about another 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. And then your soup should be ready. While you're cooking this, again, make sure that you're constantly adding water to it because it does tend to evaporate. And like I said, with the lid ajar, the steam still does escape, but it prevents it from overflowing. That's why you always keep the lid probably like, yeah, halfway open, and keeping an eye on it. If you have a fan, it's always handy to keep your fan on as well. The reason why I didn't leave the fan on is because I was talking to you guys and I don't want to have that in the way of our vlogging. And last step, make sure you constantly add water. Every time you're adding vegetable ingredients, if you notice the water is below normal, just add some more boiling water in it and it will come up. And nice, ready for the next step. So now we're gonna serve our Supo Siusiu Povi. Okay, so it's just under 2.5 hours, but I couldn't wait, so yum! It smells so good. Okay, now I'm just going to serve up our, like I said, I mean, if you're not a fan of, you know, the fatty oxtail bits, then obviously, like I said before, just get some brisket or gravy beef from your local Coles, and then you can just have that instead of the OG oxtail soup. There you have it, guys, and you can serve that with rice, taro, or have it with bread. Alright guys, here it is, The oxtail soup. Oh, I'll get a thumbnail. This is the Supo Siusiu Povi. So good. Okay, so you get some of that spinach, some of the tomato. Honestly, the broth is really good. You just mop it up with some bread. So good. And feel free to add in more salt if you want. Yeah. There it is, guys. Yeah, just a note, I mean, the soup that I made, because it's quite late at the moment, it's quite late at night, and I'm gonna save it for tomorrow so grandma and grandpa can have it for their lunch. So it's better, like I said, it's always good the day after it's made, so the juices would have sucked into the beef by then, and it's gonna be so nice. So hope you guys enjoyed this vlog again. Also, heads up for those who have tuned into my channel, I'm starting to upload just minute-long short recipes for those on Instagram. So if you haven't added me on Instagram, make sure to check out my Instagram page. Have any vlogs again, and yeah, those are just minute-long recipes I've done in the past, just to help those on Instagram as well, with their cooking in the kitchen, because you know everyone's stuck at home now and they don't know what to do. There's no more markets, no more makeki, no more takeaways. Why don't you just set up your own takeaway at home? Okay. So yeah, all the best guys, be safe like I said before, and we'll see you in the next vlog. Bye, safe work.